Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all having a great and wonderful day. Well, here's the thing, right? We're going to be talking about black culture and specifically what's going on here. Now, this may be a long video, but I think you guys need to watch this. I think you guys need to see this, and I think you need to understand from a perspective of not from just black people's perspective, but from my own perspective too. And this is something that's been bothering me, and I actually really want to make this video specifically just because of the fact that it is very irritating. Now, remember of doing the video of Austin Metcalf, which was killed by a black kid recently. Well, as I had suggested or as I known, it's been pretty close. So what we have here from the New York Post is saying dad of teen accused of fatally stabbing Texas football star Austin Metcalf says son was not the aggressor. So before we get into this big meaty part of the full thing here, here's the actual video.
New information from the deadly stabbing at a high school track meet.
Since 5 o'clock, Frisco police released the arrest report that details the moment officers arrived at the scene. The arresting officer writes when he reported he had an alleged suspect. The officer said Carmelo Anthony said he did it. According to the arrest report, the tragic event began with the suspect sitting under another team's tent as rain fell and being told to move. A witness told police Anthony immediately opened his bag and reached in, telling the victim, "Touch me and see what happens." When the victim pushed him, witnesses say Anthony pulled a knife from the bag and stabbed Austin Metcalf in the chest. The murder suspect reportedly asked police on the scene if what happened could be considered self-defense and asking if the victim was going to be okay. Maria Guerrero takes a closer look at the case and the grief in Collin County.
Facing 5 to 99 years in prison if convicted, Carmelo Anthony no longer appearing as emotional as he did after being arrested in the stabbing death of 17-year-old Austin Metcalf.
They were twins, identical twins, and his brother was holding on to him, trying to make it stop bleeding, and he died in his brother's arms.
The horrifying scene playing out Wednesday morning during a district track meet with over 100 student athletes participating. Frisco police say Anthony, a Centennial High School student, stabbed Metcalf, a Memorial High School student, during a fight. The victim's family says Anthony was told he was sitting in the wrong spot and that the teens did not know each other.
Yeah. So there you have it. There's been more up to date that Austin apparently pushed him, but this does not warrant actual being aggressive. You know, I push people. I've done stuff like that in my life, and it's not like it's an instigation to actually wanting to stab somebody in the chest. I don't know how he's going to ever get the self-defense ruling, considering the fact that this was not in court as self-defense. You have to be your life is actually incredible danger, and it's not incredible danger considering the fact that it was just a push. And he stabbed this person. He was having a knife, what have you. It's crazy. Like, this is just uncalled for, right? Well, now we're going to move outside of this, because this is something that you guys need to start understanding. Now, we have this here where Matt Walsh says something very perfect, very well put, and I think everybody has to understand. It says here, if I told you that a young man stabbed another young man to death for telling him that he was in the wrong seat, and then I told you that one young man in this altercation was white and the other black, and then I asked you to guess the race of the assailant, every single person would know the answer immediately. Young black males are more violent to a wildly, outrageously disproportionate degree. That's just a fact. We all know it. And it's time that we speak honestly about it, or nothing ever will change. There's something that I learned recently. It was called YN. And if people don't know what that is, well, it's young N-word, right? Okay, so that's pretty much what it is. And if you guys don't understand that, it's just like these people, these young kids, these young black kids are very, very violent. The quoting even goes out to say here that fatherlessness and culture start there. Agreed. And if you think there's going to be just white people I'm going to be mentioning here or what have you, I have news to break to you. A lot of black people that are hardworking, that are just busting their asses, just trying to get, just to make ends meet, just to work, just to get, become a middle class, not doing any crime or anything of the sort. They are actually they are actually in agreement with me, right? So we'll be going over that shortly. But it says here, it's true that males in general tend to be more physically aggressive, although women are more prone to violence against children, see graph below. But among males, there is one group, young black males, that is statistically much more violent, even by the standards of the more physically aggressive sex, and responsible for an extraordinarily disproportionate amount of crime. So again, here we have this the number of perpetrators in the child abuse sex cases, whatever. Women are more aggressive. I won't be doing a video about that, but I have full information on what this is going on here, right? So yeah, and then of course he brings out this too, where you need to see the data proving that black males are disproportionately violent. Okay, well, literally all crime stats bear this out with this. So again, we have all these stats here, race of victim and what have you. Black African American is 2,000 total, which is only about only 200 lower than the white what have you. And race of offender is at the 2,574 people, which is over 70% of the people of the race of the offender being this, and then the race of offender of the what have you is only 566. I mean, you see this here, sex of victim, and it says it says the black people are overwhelmingly high. So yes, this is not something that is rare here. This is an ongoing thing. Now, again, this is something I'm going to bring you to here as well. Now, what we have here is just a simple case of our typical math. So we're just going to do with violent crime here, all right? So we're going to find violent crime, and we're just going to go all the way down to where this is. So hold on, give me a second here. You got to do it the old-fashioned way. So we have violent crime here. The total is 355,000 people. And what I'm going to do here is this. So we have that is black male. We have 5.7% of the total U.S. population that is black male. All right. So there you have it. That the 5.7%. And then of course you have the U.S. male. Population in the U.S. is white male, which is 30%. Okay. So if we just go down here and we look at the total people that are that the people are, the total amount is 209,000. With whites, and then with blacks, it's 129,000. Now, granted, there are more white people committing these crimes, but again, there is significantly more white people in this country than there are blacks. Blacks only make 14.4% of the people of people in America. So if you put that into perspective here, they're 40% more likely that are actually doing the crime. That's insane, right? Like, this is not like a joke. They're 40% more likely to do the crime. And then, of course, we're going to go here as well. We're going to go this. So we'll just do this here. This is a person that was stealing from a white kid. Guess who the color is?
Give me the album, man. Give me the album. Snitch, I'm gonna crush your bitch ass.
I wasn't snitching.
Snitch, I'm gonna crush you.
Dude, I wasn't snitching. Dude, get him. Dude, I wasn't snitching. I was just talking about something else. Dude, I wasn't gonna snitch. I'm sorry. I wasn't snitching.
Stop talking, bro. Stop talking, bro. Sit down, bro. I'll take your phone, bro. Bro, give me the phone, bro. Bro, give me the phone, bro. Give me the phone.
Stop it. Give him my jacket back. Get after him.
So, and this person says, we keep telling y'all to stop with the damn jackets on the train here. Because of this, and you won't stop. Then he fighting back for it. These people will kill you and go to KIPP the next day. They don't care. Goes on to say here. This is a black woman saying this, by the way. This is like when I warned my out-of-town friends in college that it's not sweet. Don't be walking with Neverfulls at 11 p.m. back to campus. Bitches got the bag stole and cried and ain't our fault. The N-words commit crimes, hit the corner store, and blacken the mama house for bed. They don't care. So Yeah, like black people know. Black people know. It is a problem in the black community. This is a considered a thing. We go back here, and we have Rebecca here. It says, in my 90% white town, I can walk around wearing all my jewelry, a cashmere coat, and a nice handbag with a wallet full of cash. I can leave my doors unlocked. I can leave my laptop in my car overnight, and no one steals it. I accidentally left a scooter at the park, went back 3 days later, and it was right where I left it. This is what your life could be like without diversity. And again, this is what it is. I just had a friend in my Discord talking about this, and one was saying you need to get out of the hood because these people used to live in the actual hood, right? They used to be in the hood when they were younger, and then obviously my friend does not live in the hood no more, but like they know what happens in these places, and we're not going to acknowledge this. And then when you say this, people call you racist. They call you everything in the book. But this is just reality. This is what actually happens in black society, in black neighborhoods. Look at this. This is our doorbell of
the chaos in Forney did not.
This is just a neighborhood of a Texas brawl happening and in Texas or what have you. Look at this. Look at the common denominator, guys. The common denominator. Like, look at this. Are we like, is this a joke? Like, look at this. They're all black, guys. Now, of course, you see some white people in the mix, but the majority, 90-80%, is all blacks. All right? We cannot be lying about this and saying like, oh, well, you're the racist one. You're the bad one. This is the common denominator. What we have here is black on white homicides. It says black on white is 14,689. White on black is 6,148. Look at this. This is what's going on here. And then, of course, you have Jason Whitlock. Will anybody in media talk about what Austin Metcalf, the way they talked about George Floyd? What's more of a tragedy, a criminal overdosing on fentanyl or Christian high school straight athlete murdered at track meet?
In the sports media world, talk about this. Will any of the Cowboys treat Austin Metcalf the way the Cowboys treated George Floyd, taking a knee all over the place?
It's true. And we have some black apologists here that are just going out and saying this, right? Like some black apologists are like, oh, well, it's like, stop this with the racism and what have you. It's just such a joke. Take a look.
Metcalf was recently unalived by another 17-year-old boy at a track meet. First and foremost, rest in peace to him. But what the internet is doing with this case is particularly heinous. It's the same thing that y'all did to Laken Riley. When it comes to the unaliving of white people who is deemed undeserving of being unalived, rightly so, right? This Austin Metcalf was 17. He was a student. I mean, he did nothing wrong. People shouldn't be wrongfully, randomly unalived and aggressed, regardless of whatever the scenario is, unless it's some situation of self-defense. But this wasn't that. But the outrage around the death of white people not deserving of being unalived is often fueled by this racist behavior that demands that the entire community be held responsible for the actions of someone who happens to be in a certain BIPOC community. And this energy is oftentimes not reciprocated when it comes to random white people doing the very same crime.
Some white people want to be oppressed so bad. Let's talk about it. There's a young man named Austin Metcalf, 17 years old, just recently got unalived at a track meet by a young man named Carmelo Anthony. Absolutely no relation to the basketball player. And there are brain dead napkin Americans, enemies of the sun, with the caucasity to say, oh, where's the national outrage? Oh, he died in his twin brother's arm. This is such a tragedy. Oh, where are the marches? Oh, where are the protests? Oh, we're not burning down cities. The young man was caught immediately. And I'm sure he's going to face the swift hand of justice. But y'all want to take part in the oppression that you all created so bad that you will break your measly arm reaching for a situation that's not even analogous to the BS point that you're trying to make. And most of you are not even saying the young man's name. To the family of Austin Metcalf, I hope you get the peace that you deserve and the justice that you so rightfully deserve.
Like a lot more racism, like a lot more, and I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. This is exactly what I'm talking about whenever I say that, like, we're going back in time. And I literally, every time I have like conversations like this with somebody, I always make sure to bring this up because it's so out there in the open. Like, people just don't care anymore. They really don't care. And it's honestly just so upsetting that people have taken this situation about a boy who died and used it to justify their racist tendencies. And you guys should be ashamed. Like, I'm not defending the kid who stabbed Austin or whatever, like, whatsoever. Like, that's never the answer. But I'm seeing people in these comments being like, oh, you know, like, just basically stereotyping black people and, like, saying all these horrible things about them. And it's just like, what? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing genuinely? And I'm also seeing people say, like, oh, you know, if somebody did this to a black kid, like, there would be protests everywhere, da da da. No, I really don't think there would have been. Like, literally, people are still using what happened with George Floyd and the aftermath of that as an excuse to hate on black people to this day. And it's so disappointing. Like, every time I go on Twitter, I still see somebody making fun of George Floyd, and I never thought that shit was funny. It was never funny. It was never funny. I don't care what. And people try to use the fact that he was, like, a drug addict or whatever to justify their racism as well. Like, what? Like, but yeah, I definitely don't think there would have been any protests at all.
Yeah, so in the comment section of somebody...
Like, come on, guys. What are you talking about? This is a huge issue in the black community. Like, there's another one here. Look at this. This is Amir Odom. He is
the looting, the shooting, the robbing, the fighting, they all have a common denominator, and at what point will we call it out? My name is Amir Odom, and I'm a black man in America, and before we even get into this video, I have to make a point that I do not hate myself, and I do not hate being black. I love who I am. I love my skin color. I love everything about me. And with that being said, as a black man in America, I'm allowed to share my experience and the things that I'm seeing, witnessing, and even the data that's out there. And just because myself or someone else is calling these things out does not mean that they are a self-hating black person, an Uncle Tom, a coon, or whatever it may be. We are allowed to have open and honest conversations about the things.
So again, there's multiple black people coming out and speaking out against this type of stuff. And what is a common thing in the black community? And of course, people have to shame and call us every name in the book to not talk about it. We have to talk about it. We have to solve the problem. And I don't care if I offend some relatives of mine or not, because it's the reality. We have to address this. And a part of the reason why is we have this black culture, right? Where we had this woman called Sexy Red, where she makes an appearance at a high school. She does twerking and does all this other stuff. What are we doing here? This person's degenerate. Why are we promoting somebody that talks about sex constantly all the freaking time? Like it's some type of promising thing. No, it's not. We shouldn't be celebrating this. This shouldn't be being promoted. And what we have here is that media all the time promotes these people that do crimes, that admit to killing people, offing people, unaliving people. Like, what are we doing here? As a black society, as a black community, we need to speak up against it. And black people know about it. It's so much of black people know about it. We make jokes and things about it because it's so consistent here. This is the reality, all right? What are we doing? We promote debauchery. We promote pretty much unaliving people. We promote anything that's honestly criminal, and it's just allowed to be here. The complete insanity is just off the charts. The common denominator is there. We all know it. People that are honestly the racists here, the true racists here, don't want to talk about it, or don't want you to talk about it, because they don't want to solve the problems that are in the black community. We gotta solve the single mother problem, and we gotta fix our bloody culture. We have to fix it. We have no choice, because if somebody's racist towards black people, I can't really have some way to defend it, because again, you have so many blacks committing these crimes, destroying neighborhoods, destroying things places like this, and the way that they vote, or what have you, which is a bit less of a thing, obviously, but it also has an effect too. And then when you go out and see these people, it's a huge problem. And with the whole George Floyd thing too, the problem with the George Floyd situation is that when when something happens to a black person, you people riot and destroy. When something happens to a white person, there's nothing besides outrage this time. And when we're talking about like Lake and Riley or what have you, what about Jocelyn, which was I may believe was not a white girl, but a black person. So I don't know what we're doing here exactly. You people are inherently racist. You're always playing the victim, and it's disgusting. It needs to stop. What are we doing here? I showed you everything that you needed to know. And you guys get to deal with this information that you will. But black people have an inherently violent problem. We have a huge crime issue in our culture. It is not productive whatsoever, and it needs to be fixed. And if you don't want to fix it, then get out of the way and let the smart, intelligent people fix it. Because you're not helping. All right. That's the video. Let's guys share. As always, take care, my friends.